You will occasionally see an octopus swimming along, minding its own business, and then suddenly reach out to punch a passing fish. This is unprovoked chaos acting as an active biological strategy. When you hit a wall of cognitive burnout at 2 in the afternoon, it is tempting to reach for your phone and self-medicate with digital animal content. You immediately face a trade-off. You can watch wholesome clips of animals cooperating, which yields a slow, sustainable emotional return, or you can opt for chaotic neutral clips to trigger an instant, sharp dopamine spike. The funniest internet animal moments should be analyzed as rigorous case studies in risk management. This chart shows the mammalian and avian investment index. We measure energy expenditure on the horizontal axis and the chaos factor on the vertical axis. When plotted, the punching octopus lands high on energy and chaos, while a groundhog or resting hedgehog plot entirely differently. Understanding exactly where a clip falls on this index is mandatory for optimizing your psychological recovery during a doom-scrolling session. Let's look at the first survival strategy. This approach relies on executing high-visibility resource acquisition in broad daylight. A local groundhog decides to steal crops from a farmer, choosing to consume that food directly in the line of sight of a security camera. By chewing its food right into the lens, the groundhog establishes secondary psychological dominance over the humans managing the land. A group of elephants executes a similar maneuver. When a truck carrying oranges broke down on the side of the road, the elephants immediately took advantage of the situation to perform a tactical raid and seize assets. The immediate outcome of these aggressive actions is maximum instantaneous caloric acquisition. This matrix tracks the viability of these maneuvers. In our first row for calculated audacity, we see the strategic input of stealing in plain sight, resulting directly in those high caloric gains. While the calories gained are absolute, operating so openly eliminates any plausible deniability. That guarantees the humans involved will escalate their security measures. Now, the second strategy is unprovoked agitation. This happens when an animal burns valuable energy to bother another species without any nutritional incentive. When that octopus punches a fish purely for fun, we are looking at an animal actively testing the boundaries of its ecosystem. An ostrich actively harassing a much larger giraffe applies the same logic. It is a deliberate method of generating self-entertainment to cope with a stagnant environment. The direct psychological outcome of this behavior is establishing a highly unpredictable and feared reputation among peer species. Looking back at our matrix, we are adding a second row for unprovoked agitation. Notice that it shows 0 calories gained, but highly effective ecosystem intimidation. Prioritizing self-entertainment over beneficial interspecies networking is a highly isolating tactic, yielding a terrible caloric return on investment. Sometimes the daily environmental friction simply gets too high, and the most mathematically efficient response is to initiate a sudden, complete physical shutdown. We officially call this the system shutdown. It requires initiating a complete physical collapse at the absolute first sign of mild stress. Now, a hawk-nosed snake is entirely harmless, but it relies on playing dead to instantly pause immediate external threats. A tired, deflated hedgehog resting flat on the ground demonstrates how this tactic requires near-zero biological output to successfully execute. In the final row of our matrix, we add this low-energy approach. The system shutdown offers excellent energy conservation, but the long-term trade-off is total physical vulnerability. Intentionally sacrificing forward momentum and personal dignity is a mathematically efficient, entirely passive survival mechanism. We can shift from behavioral analysis to direct application by mapping these animal strategies to your current psychological state. This flowchart categorizes digital escapism by viewer temperament. You have 3 branches: risk-averse, resource-poor, and excess energy. If facing overwhelming pressure and avoiding conflict, follow the risk-averse branch. Your prescription is the system shutdown, pulling from the hog-nosed snake. Complete, undignified rest is a logical defensive tactic against severe burnout. If you're ambitious but lack resources to thrive, follow the resource-poor branch. Your prescription is to adopt calculated audacity, taking notes from the elephants. This demographic must aggressively seize clear opportunities without hesitation. If burdened with excess frustration and desperately needing to establish boundaries, follow the excess energy branch. Your prescription is to adopt unprovoked agitation, like the octopus. When an individual completely abandons conventional rules, they trigger a chaotic release of energy that establishes strict and unpredictable personal boundaries. To be explicitly clear, these tactics are strictly recommended for selecting which digital videos to watch. Do not physically execute these maneuvers in your daily life. Observing pure animal chaos provides a maximum return on your dopamine. Replicating these strategies in a real-world corporate environment carries unacceptable HR trade-offs.